right now is nighttime for the plants. Night. These some big plants too, y'all. This is how you get your muscles, like here. We harvesting today. We killing these plants. These beautiful plants. They done with the flowering and they ready to get smoked. It's a sad thing because you've been growing it for months and you know, you build a connection with these plants. But the happy thing, you know, the finished product and the hard work that you put in making this product the best. I do think about doing this for my own greenhouse. This is real serious thing right now. Real excitement. It's getting me ready for my journey.
California is turning over a new leaf. It is now legal to buy pot there for fun. You don't need a medical card anymore.
Researchers say legal pot could be worth as much as $5 billion this year.
One Bay Area city has a plan to give convicted criminals priority when it comes to providing pot.
In Oakland, 50% of all permits must go to what they call equity applicants. Oakland residents who either live in a neighborhood where there's a large number of cannabis-related arrests or have a cannabis-related conviction on their record. The program is the first of its kind in the nation.
I love to make cars look new. All throughout high school, I cleaned people's cars. Only reason I'm still doing it now, still got kids to feed, rent to pay. I'm not trying to go back to black market, so detailing it is. I received a phone call from a good friend of mine. He was like, have you ever caught any kind of weed case in Oakland? And I was like, yeah, why? I liked being a businessman with marijuana. We knew we were targeted. We knew how Oakland did, but it was like, catch us if you can, basically. They gave me a 5-year felony probation with a 4-way search clause. I knew the risk I was taking, so I guess it paid off. Push.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Doing waste is like crack. It's like crack. You get that first hit off this. You ready? When I come out the gym, I feel like the newest person on earth. I love it. I love it. I used to be a really skinny kid, but the police wouldn't back down from me. So what I did, I got into the gym to put some size on me. So whenever a police try to get too aggressive with me, that he could think about it twice. So right now today, they think about it twice. I don't care if they have a badge on, they're not gonna do me just any kind of way. And that's one of my reasons why I really got into fitness. So I wanna have enough wind to put them on their ass if it was necessary.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fuck, we were the target. That's it. We were the target. That's what it comes down to. Drugs was pushed into our community. You talk about the war on drugs in general, cannabis was just one of the tools that was used against us. Like, that don't even fucking scratch the surface. It was cool that they threw in a clause if you lived in these districts. A lot of people thought that was unfair. Because you lived in this area, then you get the equity program. Yeah. It's like, yes. My mom was on drugs. I was a kid, I didn't really understand at that time, but seeing family members smoke out of Gerber jars and shit. Some people think Gerber, they think Pretty Baby. I think Gerber, I think of a crack pipe made out of a fucking Gerber jar with Brillo pad. It has an effect on you. You know, it has an effect on you. As a kid, I would catch tadpoles in this creek. And this is also where they found my mom. This is where they found my mom's body at. She was somewhere down there. There's a lot of drug activity going on in this park. They say it was 1 or 2 men brought her down here, raped her, and strangled her. Me feeling the community that I'm in is responsible for my mother's death, like it's almost like I'm dealing with her attacker. Maybe somewhere on a subconscious level, that is how I feel. It's always been this feeling of this like demon around here, and it's that stench, like you can smell it. The reality of it is I'm scared around this motherfucker. And this sort of shit, it scared the fuck out of me, and I've been scared my whole life. So I've been acting like, you know, acting out on it. It's like a security blanket. I would feel more jumpy without it. I feel the presence of that demon more without it. The common denominator between all of this shit and all of this activity is the alcohol and drugs. Is the alcohol and drugs, you know what I'm saying? That's just it. So when I seen the criteria on the news, oh yeah, a victim of the war on drugs. My mom was dead, my dad was in prison. He was in there for selling drugs, she was out here for drugs, you know, so. That's why I'm so determined to do what it takes to make it work and turn a negative into a positive. This program is bigger than just weed. Cannabis is just a means to righting that wrong. That's it.
My name is Desley Brooks. I've sat on the Oakland City Council for 14 years. And I founded the first cannabis equity program in Oakland and in the nation. When you look at the war on drugs and the impact on communities of color, it is inexcusable that we would set up a system that doesn't include those very people. This was like when alcohol became legal. This was prohibition. And this was the ability of people to make real money and impact their communities. And I wasn't going to let that opportunity go by. I've raised these issues not just tonight, at every single meeting that this has come to. And so if I had faith that it was going to be done by regulation, it would have been done. I didn't get us to tonight.
It's been in this committee for over a year, and we've held it in this committee just in the past few months. This is the third time. It's time to move it forward. People are waiting. We're in competition with other cities. We are hurting ourselves and shooting ourselves in the foot by keeping it in committee again. We got to move this forward.
If you're really serious, Mr. Kalb, then I'd ask a friendly amendment to your substitute motion. I told them that if they wanted it to come out of the committee that night, that they needed to agree that 50% of the permits would go to equity applicants. And it was on the floor, on the fly, that the equity program came about. If you're willing to do that, I'm willing to move this out tonight.
I will accept the second as a suggestion to move it forward.
Great.
All right.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Once they realized what they had done, the fight began. And for a year, I battled with the cannabis community.
The policy, once put into practice, will likely cause a bottleneck in the issuing of local licenses and stifle local innovation.
We need to get this resolved and moving forward so people do not move their businesses to other cities, but stay here in Oakland to create jobs and money right here.
So they would come to the meetings and say, people of color can't run cannabis operations. And it's like, really? They've been selling weed for years. It's just on street corners and they get arrested, and you haven't gotten arrested.
I think all of us who have been in what we now call the cannabis industry for more than a minute are drug warriors. The way that I've tried to contribute to the drug war is by demonstrating that cannabis can be done in a way that is safe, that's transparent, that brings value to our community.
My partner, for example, has a PhD in organic chemistry from Cal, and as a matter of safety, we believe all cannabis extraction should be done by a chemist with a degree in a lab-safe environment. It's unlikely that a person with these credentials, no matter their skin color or ethnicity, are going to live in a high-crime, low-income area of Oakland. It's not discriminatory, it's just the reality of the situation.
It wasn't a question of do we know how to weigh weed? It's not a question of do we know how to put it in a sack? It ain't a question of do we know how to market it? We know how to do all of that stuff. But we can't have a dispensary?
It is funny when you start to talk about taking money from white folks and sharing. This is $1 billion industry. They acted like if they gave up a dime, it was going to kill them. I hear people talk about how the city worked with us and gave us a business license and let us voluntarily agree to pay taxes, and somehow you who have been advantaged and didn't go to jail, didn't get your constitutional rights stripped away, didn't take you away from your families, didn't provide you with millions of dollars, said somehow we should advantage you? Oh, please. Let's have some real equity.